What is going on, people? Welcome to another video, Codename Love 1. Here's some content for you. Let's analyse this. So the question is this has been asked by IllumiLeaks. Why are 8 billion humans being enslaved by a handful of pedophiles? So, let's decode this and go through the comment section and see how many people are close but no cigar. Yeah? How many people are close and how many people are miles off? Let's go through these comments. So, let's take this guy, the first one. The answer he gives is because the Bible says Satan runs the world. And my reply to him is, guess who wrote the Bible, dummy? Yeah? But he's correct that obviously that's who's in charge here. I'll give you the answer maybe at the end or maybe when I feel like dejecting, but yeah. Let's look at all these answers. This is an interesting one. Because they are using black tantra magic to enslave our minds. Until we stop fearing the esoteric, we will forever be slaves to those who use it against us. That's a good answer, mate. I like that. That's a good answer, yeah. I mean, some of these are correct and, half correct and there's more to it, etc., etc. Here we go, another one. Because middle-class white people in America hate brown people. Okay, well, this person's an NPC, and that is not the reason why 8 billion humans are enslaved. That is some retarded shit that idiot has written right there. Basically, most of the world's satanic too. Yeah, that's correct. How can we pool our resources to help care for one another and pull people out of poverty until one of us has the billions or trillions and turn around and use it to solve real problems we all share, because ultimately we're 8 billion cells in one collective human body. Let's break the majority out of this slow frequency common reality run by psychopaths. Well, again, there's some truth in that answer, yeah. 8 billion cells in one collective human body. That sounds a little hive mind to me. That sounds like we are all one, which is an absolute fucking psyop. Anyway, next. Well, they are very rich. Being rich brings power and the resources for corruption. They also own the media. So while billions squabble about their manufactured arguments, left versus right, man versus woman, immigrants, etc., it distracts from these pedos bleeding us dry, paying slave wages, gathering more resources for themselves, and just generally distracting us all from what they're up to. Who's up for a revolution? Again, she's on the money, pretty much. What's this one say? I believe we're fighting a cultural, social, political, economical, spiritual and psychological war that is either going to transform us for the better or annihilate us. That is pretty much accurate as well, I'd say, yeah. That one's just an idiot. We're hitting the best part of a bug's life. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. You're not enslaved, you're in society by choice. Go to a fucking village. It's your parents' fault you're so brainwashed and here. As a woman, I appreciate sidewalks having a baby. Huh? I appreciate the lines on the ground when I cross the street, and I appreciate opening electric doors and AC. I understand why we pay so much tax. But I don't understand not being able to go to the beach whenever the fuck I want. Regardless, there is many beaches and private and public. It's all about land. Whoever that is basically batshit insane. It doesn't make any sense. She's basically a fucking moron. And this guy says, because the pedophiles are puppets and the whole trafficking system is being run by higher dimensional ET groups, it's mass hypnosis, mind control being orchestrated, not just peeps who want to dangle in a kid. Again, he's on the money, pretty accurate. What's this guy say? 1% control the 99%. It's up to the 99% to force the 1% to fuck all the way off. Again, pretty much accurate, yeah. Poverty and religion keep us enslaved. They're rich and we're divided. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. Poverty, yeah. Because we are racist, spineless oh look, it's coming from a black person, so let's listen to this. Because we are racist, spineless cowards who care more about money instead of being decent human beings. USA is in this state because we are racist, and racism will always be expensive for everyone. Until we call a thing, nothing will be changed. Why are the pedophiles in charge? White males. Why are all the people enabling and helping them white women? Like, we can get to the root of the problem if we want to have a serious conversation, but is that really what you want? This person's a fucking spastic, mate. You want to have a serious conversation? We'll get into that in a bit, but the person's a spastic. This is low-level consciousness. A black person saying, it's white people. You're a fucking retard, mate. I'll tell you why poor spiritual warfare, yeah, absolutely correct. Threats the whole basis of white supremacy. Every research I do leads me back to these sick people like children. I'm saying get them all in one place, push the red button, imagine how good life will be without them draining fucking everything from us on the planet. We could finally focus on what matters and work for each other's benefit, not theirs, yeah, basically. Reprogramming the code requires courage. Okay. Yeah. Because soon you will meet those who are responsible for 425,000 years of owning planet Earth. Okay, that may be true, yeah, okay. You talk about the country that was founded on human trafficking. What the fuck are you talking about? People don't have the mental capacity to break free. Again, shut the fuck up, you're a moron. Because people are too brainwashed and indoctrinated to see and think for themselves, world's fucked, live and enjoy your freedom while we still have what's left. Again, you're a fucking moron. That didn't answer the question. Good persons sleep without any hell plans in their mind. However, there are bad persons who don't sleep. Instead, they permanently plan how to live at our cost, making plan after plan, doing bad things against us. That's how we got here. Devil never sleeps. Yeah, well, kind of accurate. Because most of us continue to allow them to make us fight one another. Even driving on the road lately, it's like people are being microwaved, causing them to make such rash and risky decisions. Like, motherfuckers, use that same energy on your oppressors. We could be fucking homies. Kind of low consciousness, though. Because people allow it so, for they believe that which enslaves them to be true and correct. Wow. This guy's a fucking gaslighting new age cunt. So this person says the reason it's a shit show is because we allow it to be, which is not true at all. It's gaslighting, mate. For they believe that which enslaved them to be true and correct. Evil operates like a business because it's a business. You give consent or authorise by believing this. Now, there's half truth in this. Of course, yeah, it's about consent, yes. So there's half truth in this, but, mate, Hellrealm Prison Camp isn't Hellrealm Prison Camp because we allow it to be. No, it is Hellrealm Prison Camp Earth. You know, prisoner of war camp. So, does a prisoner of war allow the prisoner of war camp to exist? It's like, no, it exists. Oh, but it's only existing because I'm allowing it to exist. You know, try walking around a fucking prisoner of war camp with barbed wire going, I'm free, this isn't a prisoner of war camp. That's what this guy's saying. It's like, no, you're a moron. So the rest of his comment is, you give consent or authorise by believing their scam lies through their actions continue. Thus their actions continue. What I speak is money and everything tied to it. The work to live, debt, buy and consume everything, cost, nothing is free, exist to make money, etc. Next comes government, the idea you need to be ruled or governed, any aka kingship or ruling class. I mean, the guy's a fucking moron. This guy says demonic possession. Again, there's some truth in that, but that's not the reason. We are too scared of a revolution, and lots of us are brainwashed by those pedophiles. Low vibes, low consciousness answer. Low consciousness, mate. Because most of these 8 billion are clueless idiots, simple as that. Yes, that's true, but that's not really the answer, is it? That's not the reason. That is kind of correct. Freedom is within. Yes, that is true, but that's, you're still in a fucking prisoner of war camp, mate. We're more asleep now than when Christ attempted the courtyard conversations. Well, what the fuck is this idiot talking about? There was no courtyard conversations, mate. It's a fucking book. You're a moron. When Christ attempted the courtyard conversations to bring more spirits to the kingdom of heaven, the early philosophers were having symposium-themed orgies as their boy toys gave butt for knowledge. What? History is not repeating itself. Evil never lost power. Well, he's right about the last bit, but I can tell by the guy's a moron. Absolute fuckwit. Is the Illuminati prophecy coming to light as the waking world is gaining consciousness? Answering a question with a question is dumb. What the fuck are you talking about? Because YouTube people are the devil and we're in the Roman Empire again. Low consciousness, mate. Isn't it interesting these black people are low consciousness with their answers? That's fascinating. Mass codependency. Yeah, kind of. Because they won't release the fucking files so that the system can crumble to dust. Again, a black person. Retarded. So they think that the whole thing's going to collapse when the Epstein files are released. You're a fucking moron, mate. You're a fucking low consciousness moron. So what do we do, everyone? How do we band together and take our power back? How do we take a group of people such as us and start a grassroots movement to end this? I don't know where to push the domino, but I'm willing. Okay. 10 billion commoners versus 800 elites. When is the class war going to begin? Well, that's not true. It's a fucking load of shit. 800 elites plus several billion of their fucking order followers, right? Believe it or not, they willingly picked the pedophile. Heck, some still stand by that decision. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Can't understand these people are willing, locked in, because might is right consciousness. Males are followers, not leaders. Okay, what the fuck are you talking about? It's the religions and the character in those books that want you to give everything to him, even your children, firstborns, and no other gods before him. Yaldabaoth done duped a big portion of the planet. Same dude in all the Abrahamic religions, or probably a pair of brothers. Yahweh and Allah got many souls externalizing their power and divine through another being. Idolatry. Guy's absolutely spot on, mate. Thankfully, we have someone finally saying some truth, yeah. So, you want to know what the answer is? Well, he's just given you three names: Yaldabaoth, Yahweh, and Allah. And that's who's fucking created the show and is running the show and is basically keeping you in a fucking prison realm, aka the demiurge, if that's what you want to call it, So the guy's got a good answer there, and he's a black guy as well. So amazing, mate. Truly a great question. How haven't we overthrown the government as a collective by now? Excuse me while I piss on that stupid Godwin's Law blame game bandwagon, basically. Okay. Colonization. What a moron. Generations of grooming and being pumped with toxins. Half-truths, mate. Half-truths. The Russian mafia state has tentacles all over the planet. Wow. Yeah, it's the Russian mafia's fault. What an absolute fuckwit. This one says racism and stupidity. Again, you're a fuckwit. When you're thick, you don't know that you're thick. You think everything's alright. Like, what the fuck? Because the best argument for capitalism comes from the cooked up left. Me Too was a response to kill Occupy. Religion, patriarchy, racism, and the rest of the isms. Because most humans fail to seek the truth and realise themselves, everyone depends on the system that breaks them down. Kind of, yeah, half-truth. Because the curse on a coward, disgraced, idolatrous people is to have wicked rulers set upon them. Okay, word salad, bullshit. Many people on Threads are waking up, being awake, and can't stand this charade. Is there a Discord where these people exist? Let's make one if not. We are most powerful together, however, caring for one another has been greatly reduced worldwide, and we have been pitted against each other. Many brought up in USA to be self-centered. It is hard to break out of that line of thinking. Until we stand together, the nation will fall. Whoever that is a mug, a retard. So they'd like, oh, well, let's talk about America. That's why there's 8-bit. Oh, it's America, or this nation. Shut the fuck up, mate. This is like NPC think, mate. Because fear is easier to manufacture than freedom, and most people were taught to obey before they ever learned to question. Again, low-level consciousness, yeah, that is true. Most people are programmed to obey. Well, that's the whole point of the fucking prison system. Because what does it say? Because only like 100 of us believe it. I don't know what that means. This one says, so they sell stuff. 8 billion customers. This is now 16 fucking minutes long. I could go on. There's hundreds of these replies. I was going to read them all. No free mind loves slavery. Money, honey. It buys enough loyalty. It buys enough loyalty from enough sycophants to keep those billionaires safe and happy. Again, low-level consciousness. Because we take the propaganda bait and fight about all the non-issues that would be dissolved if we were all healthy and safe. Half-truth, scratching the surface. 85% of humans don't have souls. Spot on, mate. Absolutely bang on. Great answer. This one says dark magic. Again, good answer. That's pretty generally correct. Good question. Why are you enslaved by a handful of pedophiles? But I feel the change is coming. For me, it's an absolutely unbearable idea to realise that Netanyahu, Trump and their paid monkeys can beat such an amount of kind and decent people. The guy's not on the money at all there, I'm afraid. Billionaire pedophiles doing the bidding of other billionaires who may or may not have ties to inappropriate activities with minors. Yes, that's true, yeah. Because everyone's still asleep to that truth. That's a vampire in the profile picture. Not the entire world. China lives in a different universe that cares for itself. People. What? Psychopathy. Nope. Because we've been taught to believe we don't have power. We're taught to think we'll fail before we even start. Power has been temporarily given to those receiving the power based on trust that they will do right by us, by everyone. When we see that power is being abused, it's not up to God or any other mysterious force in the universe to take it back. It's up to everyone, one of us. The power is in us. The power is us. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That is true. But that's not the reason why we're enslaved, for fuck's sake. Oh, goodness, I'm tired, man. Look at what the Nazis did at Babi Yar. Get rid of the billionaires now to prevent a new Holocaust created by the billionaires. They must be stopped now. Trump and his family must be sent packing now. Low-level consciousness. Because whiteness. Wow, a black person. Because whiteness. It's global, sadly. These are the people that should be put down, mate, for low-level consciousness. Like, just put to sleep. They're not of any use. They're useless eaters. Their minds don't work correctly. And when asked a serious question, their response is, because whiteness. Huh? You're thick, mate. These are fucked, these people. Like I said, they're the ones that should be exterminated. The fucking thick, dumb motherfuckers. I'm going to say that they've been brainwashed into thinking they need to work for themselves to death, so they're too busy trying to get rich but making the billionaires richer. I can't be bothered to read the rest of these, mate. But basically, there was about 3 or 4 answers in there that were like correct. The rest is just like, I mean, look at this one. It says, because they're collectively pussy. What? I mean, what? These motherfuckers are dinlow, like low-level IQ. Fucked in the head. This one says, ask MAGA. They chose it. I mean, what kind of an answer is that for a very serious question? Oh, yeah, it's MAGA. It's the Make America Great Again movement. People are dumb and dumber, folks. Anyway, hopefully you got some insight into how thick people are on this post. And also maybe a couple of good answers in there. Take care, folks.